Hello and welcome back everyone, we're of course back, and today as you can see we're right in front of the entrance to the Crystal Hollows, and I'm going to be showing you how to get every crystal in the Crystal Hollows, or in short, how to do the Crystal Nucleus, because you can get tons of good loot, a bunch of XP, you can get all sorts of good stuff from doing that, so it's always good to know how and, what to do for it. Now, I am also going to be doing a short series of shorts for how to get each crystal individually, so if you are looking for just one of these crystals and you already know how to get the rest, feel free to check out one of those instead of this whole video. But if you are trying to figure out where all of the crystals are, then this is definitely the video for you. Anyway, if you like the video in advance, definitely make sure to subscribe, and let's get started. Okay, so here we are. As I said, I'm mostly going to be showing you just how to do the Crystal Nucleus this time. I'm not going to show you anything about, Boss Corleone or the Fairy Grotto or any of those other rare locations. I'm just going to be showing the actual Crystal Nucleus itself and how to get the crystals for it. So, if you're looking for anything else, this isn't the video for you. Anyway, on to the first crystal we're going to be finding, the Sapphire Crystal. Now, the place you'll need to go for the actual, Sapphire Crystal is the Lost Precursor City, as you can see right here. Now, this place is a great place to go, and it's extremely easy to find, because look how massive this place is. But you'll also be able to farm the automatons here, which is where you'll be able to get all of these items if you don't want to buy them off the actual bazaar. So, you can just take those out, bada bing, bada boom, and you can farm any of those items. And then once you have all of those items, you can actually go up to Professor Robot over here, and you just have to give him all of the items, and you just gotta give them one by one. And then once you actually have done that, he'll open up this door, and you can get the Sapphire Crystal. Now, the next crystal I'm going to be talking about is actually going to be the Amber Crystal. This one's pretty difficult to get, actually. It may even be the hardest one to get, because you have to find the Goblin King, as well as the Goblin Queen, which both are pretty hard to find areas. But, once again, if you use the Wishing Compass, you can find the King pretty easily, and then it's pretty hard to miss the Queen most of the time, as long as there's other people in the Crystal Hollows lobby, and you can just ask in chat where the Queen is and all that. But generally, it's not too bad to find. So, what you're going to want to do is you want to find the Queen first, or the King first, really it doesn't matter. But, you want to find one of them, and then you want to just set a waypoint. That's another reason why I suggest Badlion or some mod that can help you with that. Because you need both of them, but you need a good way to get to both of them quickly. So basically, to explain it a bit better, the Goblin King is going to tell you that he's really hungry, and then you're going to need to give him 3 goblin eggs. Now, these are just the normal ones. I know it shows rare, which is blue, but these aren't blue, these aren't yellow, these aren't any of that, these are just goblin eggs. You're going to need 3 of those, and then you're going to basically have to give those to the Goblin King, and he's going to rub his stench on you, as weird as that sounds, and then you're going to be able to infiltrate the Goblin Queen's area and steal the Amber Crystal from her. But, once again, you need to have, an easy way to get to the Queen after getting to the King. So, once again, I suggest a waypoint, and that's what I'm going to do right now, and then I'll show you the full process. Okay, so once you actually have your waypoint set at the King, and once you have it set at the Queen, as you can see right over there, you gotta come back to the King, and you gotta get your 3 goblin eggs, as I said. Now, you're going to want to talk to the King. I already did the dialogue, but he's going to tell you how hungry he is and that he needs some goblin eggs. Then you're gonna bring him those goblin eggs, and as you can see, they're gonna help him with his stomach pain, which is always nice. Now, he wants to hit the Queen where it hurts, so he's gonna rub his, he's gonna cover you in his foul stench. Once again, very odd premise, but it works. Now, I have indeed been covered in the foul stench. As he says right here, I must hurry before the stench goes away. So, I need to go back over to this location here where I have my tunnel. And now it is just as simple as going into the Goblin Queen's little castle area and taking the Amber Crystal. Super easy. Now, next up, though, is the Mines of Devon, where you're going to be getting the Jade Crystal. Now, here, it's pretty easy, but once again, it's a thing that relies on luck. Basically, you're going to have to talk to one of these keepers of a material. They're going to tell you, take this metal detector, which is just a iron hoe. Simple enough. Now, once you have the metal detector, you're gonna have to just jump down into this big pit of gold, the big actual mine itself, and you're gonna have to use the metal detector as it, would seem, which is super simple. Just basically listen for the beeps, and, the slower the beeps are, the farther away you are. The faster they are, the closer you are. You're also going to see on the bottom there that it shows you how many meters you are away, which is extremely helpful too. So, once you actually find the treasure, you just have to click on it like that with the metal detector, and you'll get some form of loot. You're looking for scavenged items. Now, the golden hammer, the iron hammer, the lapis sword, the diamond hammer, I believe are the ones. I could be remembering wrong. Now, as you can see there, I have finally found the scavenged lapis sword, which is the last one. You're gonna need to find the scavenged emerald hammer, the golden hammer, the diamond axe, and the lapis sword. So there's only 4 of them, but it can take a while just due to RNG being annoying. You never know. But once you actually find them, you just need to bring them to their respective keeper. So, for example, the keeper of emerald. And then once you have given all of the scavenged items back to their specific keepers, you're going to be able to grab the jade crystal right here. I can't right now just because some glitch made it so that the keeper of gold isn't here. But you should have no problem as long as you don't have that same glitch. But it'll be super easy, either way. Now, next up is going to be the amethyst crystal. This one is actually really easy, but it's also kind of annoying to do at the same time. There aren't a ton of steps, but you do have to do a parkour while you don't have any of your jump boost or speed or anything like that. So that's the annoying aspect. But once again, you don't have to do anything weird. You don't have to go and buy a ton of things. All you need is a jungle key, which, as you can see here, worth a bit less than 100k. You can get it here in the Crystal Hollows, but it's a rare thing to find, so once again, I suggest just getting it off the bazaar. So, basically what you're going to want to do with this is you go up here, and once again, you don't have any speed, you give the key to the door guardian, and then you're going to be let in. Now, this parkour isn't too difficult, because it can't be with how slow you're running and all that, but you're just going to want to basically make your way through here, and you just got to obviously make sure you don't fall. I mean, it is parkour. Parkour, you never want to fall, right? That's kind of the point. But it's just as simple as any other parkour. You just jump, don't fall, and when you come across anything like this, you wait for it to shoot first, and then you go after it does. Because if those hit you, you go in lava, and you have to start over, or maybe even buy a new jungle key. Which, who wants to do that? No one. Obviously, that's just a waste of 100k at that point if you have to buy a new one. Now, as you make your way through, you're gonna find more and more of these arrow shooting dispensers, but generally they're not too much of a threat. You just gotta keep your eye open, make sure you're always on watch for them, and make sure that you don't get blocked off by any extra leaf blocks, because that's honestly one of the most annoying ways to mess this whole parkour up, is to just get caught on a leaf block. Now, once you do get here though, parkour's already over. This has only taken like a minute or 2. It takes no time at all. It's a super quick parkour, pretty easy as you saw, and you can grab the crystal, and you can also grab 2 chests worth of loot, which is always a great time. And then you just go around the crystal to this lever right here, and that will take you out. Now, this next one you won't actually need anything specific for. You don't need a key, you don't need any robot parts or anything like that, but there is something I can suggest. You will need to fight a boss of sorts, and the boss doesn't actually have a specific amount of health, because all you need to do is hit it a specific amount of times. I believe the amount is about 250, I could be wrong though. So, you can hit it just melee, which is going to take a long time, you're going to risk dying, it's dangerous, you don't want to do that. So what I would recommend is just getting a mage weapon, such as a glacial scythe or something like that, or even better than that, I would suggest just getting a super cheap Venom's Touch, since it shoots 5 arrows at a time, and those will do 5 hits, obviously. So those are going to take out this boss super easily and super quick. Now, another thing about this specific boss to get the Topaz Crystal is you can actually make the most profit from this boss out of anything other than the Crystal Nucleus, really. I mean, I'm just talking one-time profit. I'm not talking per hour or anything like that. I don't know those statistics. But from this boss, you can actually get the Bow Pet, which is worth 13 million coins, upwards of 20 million. So this thing sells for a lot. Now, if you aren't interested in that, though, sometimes you will be able to get here when someone else has already killed the boss, and the Topaz Crystal will be just right there, as you can see. So, you need to grab that quick, or the boss is going to start spawning in, as you can see right there. Now, my suggestion for how to fight this boss is stay high, because on foot, it's going to deal a lot of damage. It's going to spawn in blazes and all sorts of stuff like that. And since this is down in the lower parts of the Crystal Hollows, the heat will actually slowly make you burn up and die, which, believe it or not, you don't really want to have happen. Now, alternatively, you can stand on top of the crystal, because this will still get you a bit of an advantage height-wise, but ideally just get up high and just rain arrows down on the bow, because it's going to end way better for you than if you're on the floor, unless if you are well prepared, because once again, it's gonna hit you a lot, it's gonna spawn in blazes, it's gonna do a lot of damage, and the heat itself will deal even more damage than the bow itself. Now, once you have beaten the bow, it will just go back into the middle and shrink, as you can see here, and you'll be able to grab the Topaz Crystal as easy as that. And then now, once you have all of the crystals, you just have to go around, place them in their respective locations. You don't have to actually place anything, you just click on it. And once they're all placed, as simple as this, you just walk up and click it once again, and boom, there's the loot for the Crystal Nucleus. You can get anything from Pico Nimbuses to the Bob-Ombs that I mentioned earlier, to items worth a couple 100k to a couple million, or if you're really lucky, you can get something called Devon's Alloy, which is worth upwards of 1 billion coins if I remember right, maybe even more by now. So this can make you a lot of coins if you get really lucky, so it's always a great thing to do, and it's always good because it can help you with your commissions by a ton, because generally it's going to have commissions saying to go get these crystals anyway, so there's no reason not to just focus on the Crystal Nucleus and get many different things done at once, and possibly a ton of coins. Now, I do also want to mention, this is a bit late for this, but if any of you are really new to the Crystal Hollows and are wondering, you know, why didn't I just mention the actual coordinates for any of the locations that I was talking about, you know, the Precursor City, the, you know, Jungle Temple, any of those areas, well, all of those locations change in each and every Crystal Hollows lobby, except for the Crystal Nucleus. So this place you can put a permanent waypoint on, and that waypoint is always going to be accurate. It's always going to show where this place is. So that's the only place I can really tell you for sure, and it's going to be about 500, 100, and 500. So pretty hard to miss, pretty simple coordinates, and you should be able to find it with no real issue. Anyway, that is going to be all for today. As I said, it was just to show you where the Crystal Nucleus is, how it all works, where all the other crystals can be found, all of that. And I'd say that was done pretty successfully. So if any of you have any questions about anything to do with the Crystal Hollows that I may have missed, or anything I didn't cover enough, or really anything at all, feel free to comment down below. Or if you have any other ideas for future guides, or really anything at all, if you want to say the word potato to confuse the people who didn't make it to the end of the video, feel free to just comment the word potato. It's always fun to see. If you liked the video and if it helped you, feel free to also leave a like. It helps out a ton with getting the video out to more people who might need it. And more so than anything, feel free to subscribe if you liked the content and want to see more, because it helps out a ton. We're trying for 1,500 subscribers right now, and we are not too far away. And once we hit 1,500, there will actually be another big giveaway. So, once again, make sure to subscribe for a chance to win on that. Now, if you would like to support the channel even more, or just if you want some cool benefits such as exclusive guides, or exclusive videos, or even videos earlier than everyone else, then feel free to join as a channel member. There's a ton of cool tiers, ton of cool perks, and it helps out so much. But with that, that is all for today, so thank you all very much for watching. Till next time, everyone, and goodbye.